Hi everyone, so today's video is gonna be a little bit random. Even though my videos tend to be a bit random anyway, there isn't like any consistency on my channel or anything like that. Basically, by the title of the video, I'm going to be talking about BPD, what it's like to have BPD when you're a mum, how you deal with certain situations being a mum and also suffering with BPD, and just everything in that kind of subject really. So I'm going to start with what is BPD, if any of you don't actually know what it is and you've never heard of it before. It is a type of mental illness and it kind of is similar to bipolar, but not at the same time. A lot of doctors actually misdiagnose people with bipolar when really they have BPD. So basically it's kind of an illness that is around your emotions and your moods, which is why they get like misdiagnosed a lot, because they have similar things, but when you actually put the symptoms together it is completely two different things. So basically BPD stands for borderline personality disorder, and it's basically someone who suffers with like their emotions. They can't really control their emotions very well. You can go from like 0 to 100 within seconds, like in any kind of emotion. So anger can be very intense, and yeah, you just, it not like a normal person can control themselves in certain situations. For example, like if something pisses you the fuck off, a normal person can just be like, right, okay, what the fuck, and just like remove themselves from that situation. Whereas me, for example, or anyone else that suffers with BPD, you just can't control your outbursts, and it's kind of like a child's temper tantrum. That's what it gets like compared to a lot, because obviously kids don't really understand their emotions just yet, and they literally throw tantrums over anything and it just seems like nothing. That's kind of what it's like your anger can go from 0 to 100 within a second, and it can be intense, it can be scary. I know my husband gets really fucking scared like when I go from 0 to 100. It's basically not being able to control yourself in certain situations with certain emotions, and relationships that you have with people as well can just be rocky as fuck, because if it's rocky as fuck for the person who's got like problems with their emotions, then it's gonna be rocky for the person on the receiving end of those emotions. So whether that's a boyfriend, girlfriend, any kind of like romantic partner, family member, friends, anyone I suppose that's in your life can get affected by it. So yeah, as you can tell by now, I suffer with BPD, and I only got diagnosed about 2 or 3 years ago. I have suffered with this from a young age, so I'd say about 15, 16 when I lost a best friend in a car accident. So BPD is caused by like traumatic experiences, and kind of like things like that would really fuck a person over. So yeah, I got it around about that time, and anyone who knew me back then would probably agree that I wasn't a very nice person in some situations, and it is literally down to that. And I had no fucking clue back then that I had this illness. I just thought I was a fucking raging teenager who had just lost their friend and was just acting out a little bit. I didn't know that it was a genuine problem. And I think that's the thing, like people who suffer with it don't necessarily think that they've got a problem until like last minute. But I will put a few videos in the description that explain certain symptoms of borderline personality disorder, just so you can get like a a better example of it, rather than me just like saying what I remember and whatever. So when I got pregnant, I was shit scared. And not only just shit scared because I was having a baby, shit scared just because of how I am day to day and my stress levels. I was taking medication at the time, which I was told, when you get pregnant, come back, we'll switch your medication and put you on something that's safe for you to take throughout pregnancy and while you're breastfeeding as well. I think I was on citalopram at the time. I probably just completely pronounced that wrong, but yeah. And they ended up putting me on sertraline. Then I was just thinking like, oh, BPD, people just think you're crazy anyway, and people just see you as like a really aggressive person or harmful like to other people and stuff like that. So it kind of got me paranoid in thinking that I was gonna be a shit mom. I wasn't going to like do the best for my kid. I wasn't going to be able to take care of her properly, and just little things that I suppose people who don't deal with this can like hack every day. Like my daily struggles are like taking care of myself, remembering when to have something to eat, have something to drink, brushing my hair, for example. I can go like 2 weeks without even brushing my hair, which when you think about it is a bit like, oh, why though? But I can't quite explain it properly. Taking a shower, just general like self-care, I find really hard to kind of keep like up to date with. You know what I mean? Like someone would get out of bed, brush their hair, brush their teeth, have a shower, whatever you do. I would literally get out of bed and stick my hair in a bun, or not even fucking touch my hair, and go downstairs and just not feel right. Like that is literally my day to day kind of struggle. It's just self-motivation and forcing myself to do things that the average person would just naturally do in their routine or something like that. So yeah, I was just like, shit, if I can't fucking take care of myself, how am I going to take care of a baby who literally, if I don't do those things, she could potentially get really fucking sick and potentially die. So that is something that I was just going over and over in my head, and I thought, shit, like, is the baby going to get taken away from me because they know I've got this illness, and when I get angry it's hard for me to control and all that kind of stuff. And the first thing you think of is like, no one's going to understand. Everyone just thinks I'm crazy and that I'm just this big bubble of anger, and the slightest thing is going to make me pop and I'm just going to flip the fuck out, which does happen, but I've gotten a lot better at controlling it, especially with having a baby. So that was my biggest worry when I was pregnant, was just how am I gonna actually not be a shit mom when I feel like I'm just gonna be a shit mom. So yeah, as well as borderline personality, I have also been diagnosed with anxiety, like severe anxiety and severe depression. So anxiety wise, I find it really hard to talk to other people, answer the phone. That's a big one. I won't answer the phone if I don't know who it is. If it's like an unsaved number in my phone, I just won't answer. I find it hard to answer the door. I literally will not fucking answer the door to a postman if I can help it. Like in our old house, we had like a huge window, so when you were sitting on the sofa and someone knocked on the door, you could literally see from standing at the front door, you could see into the living room. So I couldn't really hide very well when someone knocked on the door, so that was really horrible. And with the depression side of it, it just adds to like those really, really low moods. So when it comes to having a bath or a shower, when it comes to actually taking care of my appearance, putting makeup on, brushing my hair, anything like that, I have to kind of really push myself to do it. Or my husband is just like, fucking, like, what are you doing? Go and have a bath. You'll feel better. And it does take a lot. And it's like, it's so stupid when you kind of think about it in that way. But unless you're suffering with it yourself, you literally don't know how hard it is to even do the smallest thing. I have like zero motivation. So, cutting to me actually having baby, fortunately, as far as I was aware, I mean, it's really hard for me to tell because I have really low moods like all the time, but as far as I'm aware, I didn't suffer with postnatal depression, that's the one. Because I already had depression, I didn't feel anything extra added to my depression, so I don't think I suffered with it. So that's a good thing. In the beginning, I was just fucking worried about everything. We brought baby home because we were in the hospital for about 5 days, and we brought baby home, and I was just crying and crying and crying and just worrying, saying, oh my god, like, because when you breastfeed a baby, they say, try and think happy thoughts, try and look down at your baby and feel relaxed, because if you start getting stressed, the ice cream man's here. Anyway, yeah, if you start feeling stressed or anything like that, then those hormones go into your milk and like into the baby. Which can cause your baby to like start getting really like niggly and I don't know, it's a really strange thing, but yeah, it can like stress your baby out if you start getting stressed, because all of those hormones basically go into your milk. So that, I was literally fucking worried about that constantly, 24/7. That was what I was worried about all the time. It was just so hard to get out of that kind of like headspace where like shit, I'm gonna stress the baby out, oh my god. And it's just like, no, calm down, go in a separate room and just feed them. Look at your phone, look at like videos of cute puppies or something, and just try your hardest to focus on something else, because otherwise you're just gonna self-sabotage yourself. But in the beginning with my husband, he was working part-time, so he only worked like 2 days a week really in the beginning. So it was really good having him around as much as I did, because if I got really stressed and if I like just blew up over something, then he could literally just take care of baby. I could go in another room, calm myself down, have a bath, or something that I knew was just going to calm myself down, and I didn't have to be all stressy in front of the baby. That was one of the things that I was just really worried about, is like, what if I have like a mental breakdown in front of the baby and it's going to literally scare her shitless. He has recently started a new job where he works full time. He is an apprentice piercer for a local piercing shop in our area, and that means he works like full time, so he's like working 40 hours a week, something like that. So I basically got dumped in at the deep end because I'd never really had Luna all day, multiple days a week on my own. As soon as he said I only get 2 days off, it's a Thursday and a Sunday, the rest of the time you're gonna have Luna, I was like, oh fuck, like what am I gonna do? Like, because during the time that he got a new job, I think she was already about a year old. So this is like, this first year, he was pretty much with me all the time, which was amazing. So yeah, by this point she was a year old, would not go to sleep with me. She just saw me as playtime. So I couldn't put her to sleep at all. It caused me to have a fucking breakdown. I would go into a panic attack. I would get stressed out so much that I couldn't even cope like with holding her or anything, which sounds horrible, and it is, but not like in an aggressive way. Like, I wasn't like hating on my baby or anything like that. But it was easy to have John there because he could literally just take over, and with him being normal, he wouldn't get stressed out as easy as I do, so he could literally just lie there with her while she put herself to sleep, kind of thing. So as soon as he got this new job, that was my first thing, like, fuck me, I'm not going to be able to get her to take a nap. She's going to be like really moody all day because she's not going to go down for a nap for me. What am I going to do? This is going to be horrible. I'm going to be crying every day. I don't know what to do. I can't leave her on her own if I just flip out and change. What am I going to do? So it was literally, it's been so far the hardest thing that I've had to like go through being a mom. Especially with me, because he finishes at around 5:30, and then they like tidy up the shop, and by the time he gets home it's basically starting her nighttime routine. So by that point, from like 8-9 in the morning, and now it's like 6:30, I am absolutely fucking knackered. And more so, I suppose, from like any normal kind of person, because in a day my emotions can go happy, sad, angry, happy, sad. So that is literally one of the hardest things that I had to do, was just to kind of learn how to be a mum again, but in a different situation, because I was so used to having John there for like just doing certain tasks together, and it just makes it so much easier. Like, any parent knows how hard it is to take care of a baby or a toddler or a child on their own. Like, doing certain tasks, going to the toilet for one, like, you have to take them with you. Like, you can't just be like, oh, watch Luna for a minute, I'm just gonna go take a piss, like, I'll be back in a second. No, you have to take them with you, and then they start kicking off. So yeah, it was just basically me learning how to be a mum again on my own, for the day, and that has been one of the most challenging things for me. I can't tell you how many times I've like rang John up, like crying, saying that I can't do this. I don't know how I'm gonna fucking do this, like. But then there's days where I'm like, oh, this is not too bad. I haven't had any fucking mood changes, like, as much as I normally do. So yeah, you get your good and your bad days, but I just get like really, really bad days. So another thing that I really don't do is leaving the house. And this is something that I feel really shit about. Because I suffer with anxiety as well as BPD, I just don't like the thought of leaving the house on my own, especially with baby as well, because I don't drive. I just don't have an interest in learning to drive or anything like that. Like, it scares the shit out of me, and yeah, it's just something that's never interested me. So obviously, it's a lot harder to go anywhere with a kid, with a baby, when you don't drive, because there's public transport, taxis, buses, whatever, and I just cannot use buses. I will have a panic attack if I have to get a bus or a train or anything like that. Taxis I'm a little bit better with, but I still kind of panic a bit. But just the thought of having to use a taxi or a bus, as well as with a baby, with all of her shit, with a pram, it just makes me want to crawl into a space and die. So I don't leave the house a lot. Even walking anywhere, I just don't like the thought of being around people. It makes it really hard when it comes to like changing up the days, because it makes me feel really bad, like being in the house all the time with it. because I want her to be able to go out and see the world and experience like different things. I don't want to be that kind of person who is just like a hermit and stays in all the time. But it's really fucking hard when like you've got this barrier that's kind of like stopping you from doing that. So not only am I like hurting myself, but I feel like I'm fucking Luna up already. Even if it's like once a week, just nipping the shops with her or anything like that, it just changes my mood and just makes me feel a little bit better about it. So one thing that we decided to do to make me have some time for myself and for Luna to actually get out of the house was that John's mum and dad who watch her once a week. So on Tuesdays now she gets picked up by John's mum and they go out and go on little day trips or just go to their house and chill out or just anything like that. And it makes me feel a little bit better knowing that she's not just with me all the time in the house, which makes a massive difference. Obviously she's going to get used to being around people other than me and all that kind of stuff. And she sleeps through the night for them, which is insane. And yeah, she's just, it just settles me a little bit more knowing that she's actually going out and going places and she's not just like locked in one room, even though I don't just like stay in one room in the day. But yeah, it just helps me out loads because then I get like an entire day while John's at work to myself. And I think that really is important, like for any parent, like just having some time to yourself, whether that's just to chill out in front of the TV or to get to get any work stuff done. I feel like I'm not in focus. I think it's just the sun being a dick. I constantly am Googling activities to do with a 1-year-old. Things to keep your 1-year-old like happy and things like that, because like I don't know if this is something that normal mums worry about, but because I can go from happy to sad to angry and stuff within an hour, I can be sitting on the sofa and be like, I don't want to do anything. Like, how am I going to take care of a baby when I'm in this kind of like horrible mood and I can't drag myself out of it? Like, it's impossible. I just have to kind of let it run its course. So how the fuck am I going to entertain a 1-year-old who's going to want to run around? Well, she can't fucking walk, but yeah, play with her toys and do little things and just keeping them happy so they're not going to get frustrated in that. Is Luna bored? Like, is she like frustrated because she's really bored? Like, is she just thinking like, why the fuck am I just in this house? So I got like some little bits of arts and crafty things. So I got like a little scrapbook for it and some crayons, and literally she would sit there for about half an hour taking crayons in and out of the box and then just randomly colouring on the paper. We got a swing for in the back garden as well, like a little baby swing. Just so like I didn't have to, like if I felt like really really bad one day and I couldn't even manage to get out the house, so I got a swing so we didn't have to like go to a park and me potentially have a panic attack because there's loads of other people there. You know, just the daily shit. Yeah, so she can go on a swing, and we've got a massive back garden, so I'm hoping we can get a couple of other things that she can play on, like a slide and stuff like that when she's a bit older. That helps massively. And I think just having different little random things, like you can find videos anywhere. Like I got pipe cleaners to stick in a fucking what's it called, a sieve, you know, a strainer, that's the one, a strainer to stick like pipe cleaners, like different coloured pipe cleaners in it, so she could go up to it and just pull them out and stuff. So when I'm feeling like really shit, that is what I'll do. I'll just get something out of the little craft bag, put it on the floor for her, and let her just go at it. It sounds like I'm just crazy. And it's like, why can't you just go and do that? Why can't you just fucking go to the park with her? Like, be a fucking mum and take her to the park. And it's like, that's not the fucking point. I can't leave the house. I get like constantly people saying, but why? Like, why can't you answer the door? Why can't you go to the park? Why can't you take her somewhere? Why can't you get on a bus? You know, when you have a phobia, say if you're fucking shit scared of spiders, and I said to you, alright then, fucking you can like hold on to this big massive house spider in your hand for 5 minutes, would you do it? No. Would you fuck? Because you'd be like, I ain't fucking going anywhere near that spider. It's exactly the same fucking thing. That is the only way I can kind of explain that aspect of it. But it's such a complicated illness. I say illness because that's what it is. Which a lot of people don't understand either. Another thing that I was worried about with having Luna and all that shit was actually passing it on to her, because I've read up like on the internet and in loads of other things that apparently when you've got a parent who suffers with BPD, basically the kid can get that, it can just get it, which sounds terrible. But I think it's because them being around someone who is literally up, down, and it's basically caused by traumatic experiences. So I guess seeing your parent in that kind of way can pass it on to them. That's something that I'm constantly fucking terrified of. Like, I don't want Luna to suffer with what I suffer and go through all the shit that I go through daily, because it's fucking mentally exhausting. Just scary thinking that one day I could be passing that on to Luna and she could potentially fucking hate me for it, and there's literally nothing I can do apart from try my best to not make that happen and try and grab it by the bollocks and tell it to fuck off. It's not that simple. On a really positive note though, my family and my husband's family so far have all been so fucking supportive. Like, my mum and dad obviously are just like, if anything gets too much, let us know, blah blah blah. And the same with John's parents as well, because they haven't really dealt with anyone or experienced being around anyone with a mental illness, I suppose. Yeah, because that's what it is. I've made sure that John's parents don't fucking see me when I go into Hulk mode, because that'd be horrible and I don't want them to see me like that. So they don't know like the extreme of how I can be. But they've experienced me having a little panic attack here and there and like certain situations, and they've been really, really supportive. They've said if I ever feel like shit, they can come and get Luna and just give me a little bit of time to myself. It's hard to explain the situation. Obviously my mum and dad have lived with me, so they know what I can be like. And my mum constantly worries that John is going to leave me because of it, because it is so intense being with someone like that. If you're having a bad day, just someone coming around for a coffee for an hour can change everything. Like, to me, that like changes my entire mood, my entire outlook on the day, because that's another thing added to the list of shit that I worry about is, okay, John leaves the house from 9 o'clock. I've got from 9 until 6:30 at night with baby on my own. She has an hour nap. What am I going to do in those fucking hours? Like, are we going to be going back and forth from the garden to the house all day? What am I going to do? I need a fucking kind of routine going on. Otherwise I'm going to fucking shit. Knowing that I've got a guest coming over or my parents or family or friends or anyone just coming over and hanging with us, watching TV or just having a coffee or whatever, it just soothes me so much. Like, okay, that's gonna be a chunk of the day set on doing this, and it just makes me feel instantly better. So yeah, just whether it's someone random, put on your Facebook, any friends want to come and chill with me and the baby today. Like, I know it's for some people it is a bit of a downer going round a friend's house when they've got a kid and hanging out with them, because it is a completely different world to just being a single person. My battery ended up dying, and yeah, I had to charge it for a little bit, so that's why I might be in a slightly different position, and the dog's now fucking joined me. So hey Winnie, hi. I can't even remember what I was saying. I don't know what my end result was with this video, but I think I just mostly wanted to put like awareness out there that there is mums and dads and just parents basically who suffer with this illness, and it is fucking horrible, and you need to know that you're not alone and there is others suffering exactly the same as you, and we're all going through exactly the same fucking shit that you go through as a mum and dad, and also suffering with BPD. It's rude. It's just something that you just wouldn't want to like wish it on your worst enemy. Like, going through that change every fucking hour and all that kind of shit, as well as having to take care of a little tiny human being. It seems like it's impossible to do, but trust me, you can fucking do this. If you need help, then go and find it. Like, go to your GP, go to your friends, go to your other half, parents, anyone that you think can help you. They're just a phone call away. And even though it took from 15 to 25, no, because I'm 26 now, 23, yeah, that's the one. From 15 to 23, it took that fucking long to get diagnosed. I still ended up getting diagnosed in the end, and I'm finally getting the treatment that I'm supposed to be getting, and I'm not just being given random fucking pills and being told to take them. You'll feel better, you're in a fucking phase kind of thing. So just talk to someone. It seems scary, but it is the right thing to do, and especially if you're pregnant, you want what's gonna be the best you can do for your little one. I don't know if this video just came across as me rambling about shit that I'm scared of or that I'm dealing with, but either way, it's putting awareness out there, and that's kind of what I wanted to do. I searched on YouTube like mum suffering with BPD, and there wasn't any videos of a mum just sitting down talking about like things that she fucking worries about. I just couldn't find anything like that. It was all just videos of like doctors being like, this is why your child will end up fucked up because the parent has BPD kind of shit, and I was like, oh, fuck. I just wanted to make this video and kind of just let mums and dads know that you're not alone. It's fucking horrible, but you're not alone. There is people doing exactly what you're doing, and it's okay. Keep doing what you gotta do. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you can relate. If you do enjoy it, give it a thumbs up. Share it with anyone you know going through the same kind of shit. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.